Hello and welcome to the Mario Tennis Aces US Open Quarterfinals between David with the tag MTA Discord and Angie with the tag Kawaii. So this will be best of 5. All tournament length sets, and they will be using these characters the entire time. Now, neither player is known for the character they chose, but it looks like they both decided to go with some higher tier characters to avoid the potential of bad matchups. A really good start for Angie here. Really forcing a lot of lunges by David. Now, there's a point though for David. This matchup is pretty even. Really depends on how far up in the court Bowser is able to stay. If Koopa can push Bowser behind the baseline or deep in the court, then Koopa's going to be able to do whatever he wants. But if Bowser can stay up in the court and not, that can really eliminate the threat of Koopa's angles. And then he can eventually just force a lunge with his better reach. Just like that right there. You're going to see a lot of topspin coming from Bowser. Easily his best shot and probably the best topspin in the game. Koopa, all of Koopa's shots are good. Koopa has a decent flat, really good slice, and a really good topspin. So we'll probably see a lot of those. So David is doing a better job here, staying in these points and just playing patient. Koopa has really good but very tricky movement, so you can very easily get caught in your movement if you make a wrong play. There, Angie catches David. And David doing a really good job once he gets the lunge. And so after 2 quick games, we go to a tiebreak to settle this first set.
Tiebreaker.
Again, David again playing it until he forces out the lunge, but this time Angie recovers on the log. Oh, there's the drop shot, but there's Koopa's bad reach. That right there, you saw the best and the worst of Koopa in that point. His biggest strength is certainly that drop shot. Charges very fast and is the only drop shot that that can be a tier 2 drop shot. And forces the lunge there and easily able to put that away. So this tiebreak looking like that first game. David staying alive in this point though, but Angie doing a good job. Just keep forcing lunges until you got to put away. We'll see if David has any answer. Oh, stuck charging, and that'll be a lunge and a 5-0 lead for Angie. Ooh, Angie with the aggressive net approach to give herself 6 set points here.
Change card. Match point.
Ooh, gets the lunge there though. David saves with the first one.
6. Match point.
Ooh, gets the lunge with the return. Gets another one.
6.
And finishes it off with powerful topspin there.
Match point.
Is it going to be enough though to bring him back in this one?
Out.
No, it is not.
New set and match server.
Angie takes the first set. Very well done there from Angie. Really doing a good job when David was trying to stay back, which is where he likes to stand. But Bowser against Koopa, you probably want to be a little closer up in the net. So before this next match, let's take a look at our draw, see who these players have had to come through so far. David, being the 1 seed, got a first round bye and then took a 3-1 victory over Pito's Luma a few minutes ago. And Angie was the 8 seed, but given a very difficult draw, took on Joey's Bowser with a 3-1 win and To the Moon's Peach with a 3-0 win. So really, really strong showing from Angie's Koopa here. Really the first tournament with Koopa that I know of. Seen a lot of Daisy and Blooper, but I also haven't seen too much of David's Bowser. David is known to really play every single character. Alright, unable to finish the point there, and so Koopa will take it. But these single character tournaments sometimes leave David with bad matchups that he would normally be able to cover if it were a counter pickable tournament format. And Angie forces a lunge and wins the point. Takes the first game in 4 points. Really looking good for Angie so far.
Change card.
Oh, we got a net. Oh, and Angie's able to bring herself back in the point, but David with good positioning eventually finishes off the point. Angie stayed in that point as long as possible. Ooh, Angie again gets the lunge and is able to finish the point. Koopa's angles are especially strong if he has time to charge on a weak shot. And the only time Bowser really will give Koopa weak shots is on those lunges. So Koopa's offense against Bowser really, really amps up when Bowser's unable to get a strong shot off where a lunge comes out. There, David just catches Angie there. Break point. Ooh, the weak slice return on the lob. And draws out the L cancel. And so we go to a tie break again. And David again forcing these lunges, and okay. Angie tries to stay in the point from back there, but David just has too many options on offense in that situation. Oh, but the lob gets by him. And Koopa's drop is not going to give Bowser enough time to get up there. A little lunge. Yep. Easy put away there from Angie after the lunge. 2-1 Angie. Ooh, Angie retreats there, and David's able to get a good enough angle to take that one. Yeah.
3-2.
David trying to get the manual lunge to stay in the point, but puts him in too bad a position.
4-2.
And again, Angie forces an early lunge of David and goes up 4-2.
Change card.
Ooh, David basically giving a 50-50 there, and Angie guesses wrong. Really well played point by David, staying in as long as possible. And the drop shot there when David was in way too good position. Oh, but the flat, not the best option there. Gives Koopa time to get back in the point. But that lob will do the trick. 4-all. We got a tier 1 lob, giving David plenty of options there, and he will finish the point there with a lob, not wanting to risk the star flat being caught by Koopa's lunge. Well, we got a lunge out, and lunge took Angie too far off to have a chance there. So, double set point here for David to even things up. A good L cancel there to give himself time to get a good angle. And the slice gives David a star there. And that will be set 2 to David. $11-10 there. So here we have 1-all going into set 3. So it's interesting to note that David was the 1 seed at the last Grand Slam. And was knocked out in the quarterfinals by a Koopa, being Joey, then who Angie beat earlier on in this tourney. So David doing a nice job recovering after that first game. Does he have the matchup in his advantage now? Or what is Angie going to do? Oh, David survives a lunge there. But gives Angie too weak of a shot. David gets the lunge. Angie brings the point back to neutral until that mistake will cost her the point there. Ooh. David doing a much better job finishing off these points after the start. Oh, and as I say that, Angie manages to recover in a point. But another good lob. These lobs are really working out for David right now.
Game point.
Ooh. Angie able to get that one.
Game point.
40-30, still game point for David. and gets the lunge with the weak topspin angle. Good first game for David there. Looking a lot stronger in the matchup now. We'll see what Angie can do. Forces the lunge, but the lob does not do enough. Oh, but that lunge will take Koopa too far off the court. Koopa's lunge is okay. He can stay in the points a lot of times, but if you see him fly off the court like that, that's almost always a free put away for the opponent. And there we've seen it twice in a row. So that's a lunge right there. Those two, you see Angie easily able to recover from and force the lunge herself. But David doing a good job recovering there. Oh, but the second lunge will be enough. David throwing out a lot of lobs here. Really trying to stop Koopa's aggressive net play. Koopa with one of the better slice volleys in the game, and also that drop shot can come out at any moment. But a good tier 2 lob will do a lot there. And David with a fairly convincing set 3. At the moment, it seems like David has the download on Angie. We'll see if Angie has any tricks for set 4. Alright, Angie will start off serving. David looking very comfortable in his positioning, but an interesting drop shot in neutral. Not typically an option you want to do on Koopa, who can really do a lot on a drop shot, and has the speed to get to than always, but takes the next point. 15 all. Angie with a lob just right to where David was. Gonna have to switch that up. David has clearly figured that out. David is staying in more points with his lunge than Angie is, but that lunge at a bad enough position with the lob will work. 30 all, big point here. And the mistake, you do not want to do a weak flat volley. And David able to punish. Break point for David. This could be big. Ooh, good recovery there from Angie when it looked like David had an aggressive option. But the manual lunge there, David easy put away, and David is one game from moving on to the semis.
Change card.
Angie's just not able to get the ball around him right now. Staying in the point though. Several shots longer than Angie really should have stayed in the point, but doesn't matter as she's never fully able to get back on the point. Tier 1 lob though will put Koopa back in the point there. Ooh, a miss there on the lob. And David, 30 love, approaching victory. And gets the lunge right there. And that will set up triple match point.
Match point.
Trying to get it with these weak angles. But a tier 1 lob and a nice angled flat from Angie. Saves the first one. Still facing 2 though. Oh, gets the lunge with the flat. Still in this. Oh, but that will do it. Very good stuff to David. He will take that one. We'll advance on to the semis to face either Nintendart, Jake, or Tommy. So David really figured out how to avoid, really where to position with Bowser for the Koopa matchup. And Angie was unable to adapt to stuff like that. I really would have liked to see a few more drop shots from Angie, especially when David started really reading those lobs. But that's just how it goes. David did a better job adjusting to Angie's playstyle, and that will that'll lead to the victory. That's gonna be all for this stream.